So, welcome to Canada Pitch. This is your host, Joshua Alvarez, right at Canada Star TV. And today we have a special guest, my good friend Paul, the punching bag. And we're going to see why he's called the punching bag. So, Paul has a very interesting story. He has an interesting background. We all have a past. We all struggle with our inner demons. And sometimes we have to take the good with the bad in life, because especially the negative experience, sometimes they help us become the people who we end up being later on in life, right? And Paul is a great example about that. So thank you very much for coming to the show.
No problem. I'm stoked to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so tell us about your background, Paul.
You want me to go right from the beginning?
Let's go right from the beginning. I love your story, eh?
I was born into a world of 1975 where it was, the land of the immigrant time. Everybody was coming over from all different countries, coming to Canada. And mine was no other story. My father was Maltese. My mom was from Scotland. My dad was old school European. And, if anybody knows what an old school European is, you've taken a spoon off the face from time to time. 7 years that I was with my parents was rough. I was taken out of their home due to some circumstances with, being beaten by my father too excessive, and some other situations where I was taken advantage of as a kid. So I was put into the foster home probably around the age of 7, and it was right at Christmas time, Christmas Day. And from there, life kind of spiraled. I wouldn't say it spiraled down at that time, but it definitely went into pure chaos. Being a foster kid, you don't trust too many people. You don't want to trust a new parent that comes into your life, because you know who your parents were. And I knew who my parents were, and I wouldn't wish those parents on anybody. But if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So between this age of 7 and 18, I chose a life of crime. I ran with some big organized crime syndicates, and I got a big wake up when I was 18 years old. I got caught for a crime, and I was sentenced to a few years in prison.
Okay.
You wake up when you're in prison. You realize, #reality check. It's a different world. I like to describe it as a warehouse filled with all nationalities.
Okay.
And they're all divided by their nationalities.
Inside the prison?
Inside. So if you hung around with the brothers on the street, you're not going to hang around with the brothers inside.
Okay.
You got to kind of stick to your own kind.
Okay.
And me being who I was on the outside, I continued that process on the inside. And, there was a situation that came up in my life that I had a choice. It was to become a man or continue the life I was living and end up dead or in prison for the rest of my life. And unfortunately, a situation happened where me and some of my best friends from childhood got caught up in this situation. I watched them die in front of my eyes.
Wow, terrible.
And my life was on the line too. I was stabbed multiple times. I was piped. And this whole time, I'm watching my friends die in front of me. And, there's one thing when you go to a hospital to see your grandfather or somebody passing on to pay the respects. But when you're in your early 20s and you're now facing 6 feet under, I don't want to say I had a vision or epiphany or I saw God, but I saw my life with kids.
Okay.
And I knew at that time that either I was going to die here or I really had to make a choice. So now that you guys all think I'm a criminal hanging out on a show here with Jesus, no, it's not that. From when I got released, I had to channel my aggression. I was a very angry kid to young man, and that was compliments of my dad and my lifestyle. So I started to channel my anger through martial arts, from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to Muay Thai, and that was the last time I saw prison. I went with my martial arts. I fought professionally for over a decade, and I've traveled the world fighting. I even went into Kandahar, Afghanistan with the Canadian military to do a fight for the troops in Kandahar.
Okay.
I was kind of like, we were like the Bob Hope but instead of doing it in Florida or Miami, we went right to the war-torn country, and we spent 10 days in Kandahar, Afghanistan, on the military base, which held 30,000 soldiers from all over the world. And again, another changing point in my career. I didn't understand military, but after seeing what these guys did, how they lived, what their families went through, you know, it made more sense to me why people are stepping up to the plate and fighting for a country. From that professional sport, I went into film and television, thanks to stunts. I got lucky with a break on a TV show on the FX channel, The Strain. Graphic vampire show. It wasn't your lovey-dovey vampire stuff. From there, I felt like I was still wanted to do something, and I decided to do a charity event for the Children's Aid Foundation because I was such an idiot growing up. And fast forward 30 plus years, I figured, let's give back to them now. So I did a charity event for anti-bullying, and I figured no better way to take on anti-bullying than to take the biggest bully of them all on, a 2-ton bull. Yes, yeah, a 2-ton bull. It's crazy. And I went to bull training school for about a year. I fell in love with it. There was something that I was missing after I stopped my fight career. And, you know, after the fight career, I ended up having kids, but there was something inside of me that was like, I'm not done yet. Like, I don't want to be, you know, soccer mom. So bull riding brought me out of being a soccer mom and bringing me into being another sport as being a punching bag. And the punching bag, the nickname came from, I'm the Rocky of mixed martial arts.
You're the Rocky, eh?
I am the Rocky, but without the championship.
Without the championship. How many, what's the record? How many times have you...
Well, let's not bring my record into play here, but I help people get to the UFC or other big, huge fighting promotions, and no, not by training them, by getting beat up by them.
So that's why you're the punching bag.
Yeah, so it was fun, and you know, along the bull riding training and going to school, I met some really cool people. Like I found a community that I fit into, and it made me realize I was a closet cowboy forever, and I was scared to walk around the big city of Toronto dressed in my cowboy boots, cowboy hat.
Yeah, you wear your cowboy boots.
I am, right there.
You're the cowboy, eh?
These things have stomped on more dirt than anybody that I know. And I love the sport. I did it. I got to the professional part, but the best part about it was I still love film and television. And I met this guy by the name of Dusty McMullen.
Okay.
And his story it grabbed me. It was, this man was ranked number 2 in the world as a professional bull rider. He was on his way to the world finals to finally get that number 1 spot that he's been trying to get for years. Okay. And days before the world finals, this man was ran over by a 2-ton truck, left for dead. They never found a driver.
They never found the driver.
No, and in the cowboy world, there's a term called cowboy up.
Okay.
And it just means you're going to do anything and everything you can do to do what you need to do. And this guy laying on the ground after being ran over by a 2-ton truck was able to call 911 himself.
He called 911?
He called 911 himself. A bull rider puts his life on the line every time he steps into the chute and hops on one of those 2-ton animals.
Definitely.
But you don't expect to risk your life crossing a laneway. And I quote that because that was Dusty saying that. And I love the story.
You love the story, eh?
I love the story. And this professional sport is not like other professional sports where they're making multi-million-dollar deals. These guys ride like they're already the champions. Okay. And I decided, you know what, this guy's story needs to be told.
And that's why you started a documentary, eh?
Yes, One Ride at a Time it's called.
One Ride at a Time. Why don't we watch some of the clips and we could talk about it, okay?
For sure.
Okay, so tell us about it.
One Ride at a Time, to me the title means everything. These guys and girls, they ride one ride at a time, and they already think that they're the best in the world. And these guys and girls, like, one moment they could be on the top of their career, and then the next moment, they're like Dusty McMullen hanging out in a hospital room in another country far away from his family. So the story is about Dusty and his comeback. And it's not only a comeback, it's a comeback where he's even better than what he was before the accident.
Better than before.
You know, one of the biggest leagues of professional bull riding, they call it the Super Bowl of bull riding,
Okay.
is a company called PBR. They are owned by IMG, who is the same company that owns the UFC. They have been amazing with me. They didn't know me, but who I am and how I speak, they opened their doors to me. I wasn't a salesman looking for millions of dollars from these guys. I didn't want nothing from them. I wanted to just be able to get in these doors and film Dusty on his comeback.
Okay.
And they gave me the world. They gave me top UFC fighters in the world to talk on my documentary. They gave me some of the best in the sport of professional bull riding, from bull riders to, you know, the bullfighters, right down to the stock contractors. And it's been an amazing ride. And for me, it gave me a new life.
Okay.
I know I'm supposed to be in the entertainment industry.
Sure.
And for the last few years, I've been juggling which way am I supposed to go. Being a new guy, nobody wanted to invest money in a guy they called the punching bag. Not a dime. I reached out to everybody from small mom and pop shops to bigwigs. No, nobody wanted to give me a cent. Well, the punching bag being the punching bag of who he is,
That's it.
I don't take nothing from nobody.
You don't take it.
No, if I want something, I'm going through fists, kicks, hooves from bulls, and I'm going to get her done.
Okay.
I threw on that director's hat. I
Uh-huh.
wasted a lot of money. I
Okay.
learned a lot of mistakes.
Of course.
But as you can see, this trailer,
Beautiful.
It's going to impact everybody. And even if you're not involved in the industry
Mm-hmm.
of bull riding or professional sports, I'm going to bring you to tears
Oh,
on
that's
what
great.
this cowboy had to do to get where he is.
Oh, okay.
And he took it one ride at a time.
Well, and that's an appropriate name, eh?
I juggled with the title for almost, 2.5 years. I was filming this guy. We went into 4 different countries, and it probably was about the last 6 months of the filming that I decided it's got to be one ride at a time. Like, I thought about Cowboy Up, but one ride at a time hits home for me because my life has been one ride at a time.
Okay.
And for Dusty, like, this guy has come miles. Like,
Ah.
you go from being one of the best in the world to being sidelined for almost a year. And the crazy part about this guy's laying up in a hospital and rehabilitating for a year. He earned enough points from the season before to enter into Canadian championships. The doctors told him he would never walk properly again,
Wow.
let alone ride again. So the term Cowboy Up comes.
That's it.
Dusty, not hopping on a bull since this accident, enters the Canadian championships, destroys it, and wins it.
And he wins it, eh?
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not going to give too much away,
Oh, okay.
but I'm telling you, you hop on board with us, and I'm going to give you a ride like no other.
Okay, that sounds interesting, eh?
It is, and I've had some people guide me, and one of my partners is from Los Angeles, California. He's an executive producer, and this guy was the guy that if I needed to call at 3 o'clock in the morning, he answered his phone for me. He guided me, he directed me, he told me I was making way too many mistakes,
Okay.
but people learn from their mistakes.
Absolutely.
And I certainly did. And, I got to the point where I needed finishing funds.
Okay.
Like I said, nobody wanted to help me. I got an amazing dog. My dog, Chica, was the only funding that I got for my documentary, and it's by a gentleman by the name of Jamie Skipper in South Carolina. He was one of my sponsors when I was fighting professionally, and I bugged him all the time. I want a dog. I want a dog. Never gave me a dog. He'd always hand out money to me, no problem. Finally, I reached out to this guy. I said, listen, I'm doing a documentary. He goes, what do you want from me? He goes, you want cash? And I was like, normally I would say yes, but you know what? I want one of your dogs. And
Chica.
hands down, we went to South Carolina and picked up this dog, and I took the dog to an audition with me, and after the audition, I went to a park. I had to let my dog go before we headed back to Niagara, and we ran into this guy, and I thought it was just a regular Joe with a dog, and we were talking, making small talk, and he asked me, you live in the area, you want to hang out, do some dog sitting together? And I said, no, I'm just here for an audition. He goes, oh, you're in film and television. I was like, yeah. He goes, what do you do? all excited. I was like, here, watch this. And I showed him the trailer that I spent the last dollars that me and my family had. And this guy, his name is Thomas Scott. He's from Go For It Productions.
Okay.
I didn't know who this guy was. And after the trailer, this guy, he goes, well, let me tell you a little about myself. This man came in to save the day with me and my partner, James. He brought finishing funds. And not only that, but he brought distribution in for us.
Oh,
I won't tell you who the distribution is, but it's going to blow your mind. Yeah, we're talking national television above national television.
Wow, that's a huge break right there.
Right.
Everything thanks to Chica, eh?
Everything
I'm telling you, the dogs, eh? It's all about the dogs.
If we didn't get this dog, I wouldn't have been in the dog park. I'm not no pervert. I'm not going to hang out in a park. But her Unique Kennels, Unique Kennels is huge. They have it's one of the best breedings for bulldogs from your regular average type of bulldog right down to I have the first American registered purebred miniature bulldog.
Oh, beautiful. Those are
miniature.
Beautiful.
Instead of 130 pounds, 30 pounds. She's amazing. Look at this picture.
Does she have an Instagram page?
Oh, she's got Instagram. Look up look up _Chica the mini bulldog and you'll see her.
Okay, well, we're gonna start following her right now, eh?
She gets more gigs than me, but obviously she's cuter and she hasn't been beaten up like me.
I'm gonna start taking my dog to the park to see what happens.
You never know. Things happen for a reason.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And meeting my better half, Katie.
Okay.
I actually believe this now. Everything happens for a reason.
That's it. Eh? She had a huge impact in your life, eh?
She did. She came out when I was at a really low time in my life, where I was missing a part of me of being completely happy.
Okay.
I had my kids from a previous marriage, and my ex is just like anybody's ex. I can't go into detail or I'll be charged again. But she came in at a very important time in my life, and ever since I met her, doors of opportunity are opening. Is it because she's opening those doors for me? No. She has helped me become an amazing dad, and she's given me that power to concentrate on my dreams.
That's it. People say this all the time, but the role of the wife, women are so important, eh?
They are, and and the great thing about our generation is we get to show them that respect.
That's right.
20, 30 years ago, no, they were hanging back while we took the light, but I am proud to hold her hand in the front of the light with me, and I will talk everybody's ear off about her.
Good. I'm very glad about that. You also have a production company, right? And you had a TV show.
Yes.
Okay.
My production company is Sucker Punch Productions. Okay. It's ran by myself and James Gavsey out of Los Angeles, California. We hosted a show on City TV for a while called MMA Sucker Punch, and I had a hard time figuring out what I wanted to call my company. Did I want to call it the Punching Bag Inc? And I realized Sucker Punch Productions. I have come around these bends like a sucker punch. They haven't seen me coming. And these doors open up for me, and they look at me, they look at my past, and they're like, how does this guy do it? And I tell people, don't worry about what everybody else is thinking about you. You know what you have to offer this world. And I knew I had so much to give. And, I'm a sucker punch. I come around from that corner, nobody sees it coming, and then I'm right in your face.
You're right there, eh?
I leave people stunned.
Why don't we see some clips of you as a host, right?
Done deal, yeah.
Okay, let's watch it right now.
We could do some clips with my partner, James Gazzi, or some of the other guys. I've interviewed people that Nathan Rolfe, he is a 4-time Roman Greco champion wrestler. I've done interviews with Firas Zahabi, who is the Canadian George St. Pierre's coach. I've done everything from interviews with Tito Ortiz to some of the best fighters in the world. And you can see by the clips that it's in the background.
Okay, so let us all watch some clips right now of his show. What was the show called again?
MMA Sucker Punch.
Okay, there it is. Let's watch some clip and let's see Paul in action, eh?
I'm back. That's right, Sucker Punch Nation, the Punching Bag, and TVC, and the rest of the world. We're here each and every week with you guys. This week, we got a man by the name of Tristan. He's got hands faster than Muhammad Ali, faster than Mike Tyson, and he doesn't need teeth to win a fight. We got a Golden Glove future champ in the house. Go grab your drink, get right back, and enjoy the ride. Oh, fight fans, I told you I'd be back. And just like I've been telling you for weeks now, we got the man, the myth, the legend, JT Warsh in the house today, folks. Go grab your drinks, get back to your seat, and get ready for a ride. That's right, I'm back. NTVC and the Punching Bag here hanging out with Mauricio Veo and special guest. Grab your drink, get back to your seat. We'll be right back, fight fans.
Who are you fighting?
I'm going to take on a bull.
Why?
I figured I had so much fun back in the high school days. Let's try a real one. Punch Nation, welcome back. You got the punching bag. We're still hanging out at Mauricio's gym. We got Nathan Rolfe in the house today. This man is a master in the art of wrestling. Go grab your drink, sit back in that chair, and get ready for a ride. That's right, folks. NTVC and the Punching Bag is back. This week, we're in our brand new remodeled set. And I don't know about you guys, but it looks a little different. This week, we're bringing executive producer James Gavsey all the way back from California. I'm going to drop a bomb on him this week, folks. Not only am I dropping a bomb on him, I'm dropping a bomb on all of you. And I don't mean a little boom bomb, but got some huge news coming your way. Go to the fridge, get your drink, get back to the seat, and get ready for a ride.
Okay, that was very interesting, eh?
Yeah.
You're very comfortable in front of the camera, eh?
I am. You know, besides getting so many mug shots in my younger days,
that helped out.
I think that primed me for the future, right?
It did prime you.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so now here you are, Paul, the punching bag, eh?
Yes, sir.
You came from a life of mistakes, right? But it was your way of coping and surviving.
Right.
Right? We are what we are because of what we've done in the past, right? We all cope in different ways.
Exactly.
You vented your anger through the martial arts. Then you went into bullfighting. Not bullfighting, eh?
Bull riding.
Bull riding. Production. You're making a documentary. You had a TV show. But now there's another thing that's coming to the surface, and it's a book, right?
Yes, I'm finally gonna, well, I guess you can say I'm gonna shock the world, and there's gonna be some stories that are not gonna make some people happy, but it's my life.
Okay.
I called it two sides of a coin. Every coin has two sides. One side was everything that I went through as a child and a young person, to foster homes, to prison, to flipping the coin and showing the world what I actually have to offer, and showing them that I'm not a statistic.
Okay.
I was confused.
Okay.
And this story is going to take you from day one of my life to where I am today. And each chapter will keep you hanging onto your seat, and you're going to come back for more. It's going to be one of those books that you have to put down because you got to get up early for the morning, but you don't want to put it down because you're at that pinnacle point of something crazy going to go on. Like, my life from hat to boots, A to Z, has been one ride at a time.
One ride at a time.
One ride at a time. And like, if you don't find my book interesting, then go back to your computer and be a keyboard warrior, because I know everybody has their story.
Yes, everybody has one.
But not everybody wants to share their story.
And you're all about sharing the story, eh?
And thanks to Hollywood upside down right now, my life looks like a saint compared to some of the other guys that are going down in the newspaper, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm pro that. Like, for years and years, women and people have been able to do what they want. And now with their generation, it gives guys like me It gives women, it gives everybody the chance to have their own platform.
Of course.
And tell their story.
And you're using your story in a positive way because we were talking before shooting today that you're involved in anti-bullying,
Yes.
but your angle is?
It's to take the bully on head on.
That's right, and you're talking to the bullies, right?
Right.
That's a beautiful thing, eh? I don't know, but as soon as the book is out, I'm in, eh? I want to read that.
Yeah, we're going to kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
I've been told the whole time that I've been doing this that for me to make a book or a true story movie about myself, I have to make the complete 180.
Yeah.
Everybody has seen how I changed and I'm not in the world of crime anymore. They see him in film and television, to professional sports. But now the pinnacle point in my life is I've done that. I am now at the other part of the spectrum where, oh my God, this guy went from this to this. And now it has come full circle. I put on a director's hat, and now I've made my first film.
That's beautiful, and you're using that as a means to teach others, right?
Oh, for sure.
That's
and
great. That's an inspirational story right there, eh?
It is. When I did the anti-bullying campaign, I wanted to show people like foster kids are bullies or they get bullied.
Yeah, it's a survival mechanism.
Exactly. And one thing that these kids are taught is you're just going to be a statistic. You don't have no place to go in life. And I want to show these kids that you go where you want to go in life. You're the one that stops at that red light.
Okay.
You have the choice to go on, or you have choice, stick your tail between your legs and run. I'm not a guy that runs from anything. I have faced fear numerous times. I've been shot, stabbed. I've had probably 20 surgeries. Some would say I'm the bionic man. I got ligament grafts, titanium plates.
Do you go through metal detectors?
Oh, I set metal detectors off, and my wife doesn't know who she's with that night. But people need to tell their stories.
I like that. I love underdog stories. I like the phoenix, right? I like people that take a negative and turn it around and make a positive out of it.
Exactly. And when I started filming the documentary, I couldn't afford those crews that were hugely expensive. So I found a crew that was young, risk takers, and one of them is his name is Mitchell Gall, movie maker Mitch they call him. He's a young pup in the industry, and this guy took chances with me. He never took a dime from me. He paid for some of his own flights.
Wow.
The crew I took on, and me and my boss, I'm gonna call him my partner. Me and James didn't see eye to eye on everything.
Okay.
But I tried to express to him. He told me to stop filming, but a company let me into their doors, and they're a multi-billion-dollar company, and they were giving me chances to have, some of the best athletes from the UFC, NFL,
wow,
PBR, from bullfighters to people like Steve Tyler of Aerosmith. If I would have said no and stopped filming, I would miss these guys speaking on my documentary. And one of the things I thought about having these guys on my documentary is they will help me in the end. They will tell me their story and how amazing it is. But you have guys like Donald Cowboy Cerrone, one of the top UFC pound-for-pound fighters in the world, telling you that these PBR bull rider guys have the toughest sport in the world. They say it's the toughest sport on dirt. No, hands down, it's the toughest sport in the world.
Amazing, eh?
And the best part about this sport is the PBR is not only do you have the human athletes, but the animals, the rough stock they call it in the business, they are athletes. You have bulls like Mississippi Hippie. These bulls are treated better than the athletes.
Okay.
If you see an athlete and he's getting carried on off on a stretcher, you're gonna hear the crowd go ooh, and everybody's gonna be paying attention. But you see in another moment, you see that bull rider get dumped from these big bulls. the crowd goes nuts. And what people don't realize about the sport of bull riding is there's a lot of misconceptions about how the bulls are mistreated, how they're cattle progged. These animals are athletes.
Okay.
They make a paycheck.
They make a paycheck.
At every event, the owner of the animal, the rough stock owner, is right there. Not only is he there, you have judges, you have animal activist rights to make sure that these animals are treated like gold.
I didn't know that.
And so when you ride during your competition, you're marked out of 50 points. The bull is marked out of 50 points. And at the end of the day, when you're at the world finals, not only does that top athlete make a nice chunk of change, but that bull and stock contractor also gets a victory because they also will crown the best bull of the year.
Okay. So they have to take care of it.
They have to.
Okay, I see it.
You're not going to mistreat an animal that's bringing you 6 figures
Okay.
in. The sperm alone on these animals are ridiculous, how much they sell for. But they sell for a reason, and it's because they are an athlete.
They are athletes.
So for all you PETA lovers out there, do your research before you come across with crazy BS stories. Do some research.
Okay, so when do you expect the documentary to be out?
Well, I'm going to let you know this, and besides people that are close to me, besides Thomas and James, we just wrapped. We just finished up in LA with doing an amazing interview with one of the top neurologists and deals with concussions.
Okay.
This gentleman, he's going to take the documentary to another level. He's familiar with animals, and unfortunately during this process, we lost a good friend. His name is Ty Posapon.
Okay.
He's had concussions after concussions.
Okay.
And he was told that you're done. You can't go on. And he went to the World Finals. He gave us the last interview of his life. And
In the documentary?
Yeah. When he got home, it was just everything was too much. He cried out for help. Nobody wanted to help. Nobody didn't know how to help. And thanks to him, they donated his brain to science.
Okay.
And they found a lot. Football players, they made that movie Concussions with Will Smith. When you get hit by a football player, you get hit. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys throughout their whole career have been taking concussions from the young age. In the States, football is huge. Like, you're in football camps at 5 years old. But when you get into bull riding, it's like being hit by 6 linebackers at one time.
Well, honestly, I can't do that, eh?
No. And, thanks to him, to Ty, there's more research being learned about this from all sports.
Oh, of course.
And, everybody that I've met along the way has contributed to this film. And it has been amazing. Some of the people I've met, bull riding really went on the map a few years ago. They did a movie called 8 Seconds, and it was about a gentleman by the name of Lane Frost.
Okay.
And as you can see, a little Lane Frost advertisement for you guys. Lane was one of the best bull riders in the world, and he was young, and he took the world on by storm. And I can't remember the exact year, but he was in Cheyenne, and there was they did this huge thing about Lane Frost and this one bull that, was untouchable. Nobody could ride this bull.
And he did it.
He did it, but he was killed by the bull at that same event. He got gored, and before anybody could do anything, he bled out. Thanks to Lane Frost, they put bull riding on the map, but he also helped us to bring safety measures into the sport of bull riding. Now we have to wear, it's almost like a bulletproof vest.
Okay.
The difference with wearing that vest is you'll still break a vest wearing the vest.
Yeah.
Still break a rib. But if you're not wearing that vest, you can break a rib and puncture a lung.
Huge difference, eh?
Now, if you're born before a certain date, you have to wear helmets.
Okay.
And for you crazy cowboys out there that don't have to wear it, Remember, you got families out there. It's
Yeah.
time to start thinking safe and not thinking with your boots.
All right, so Paul the punching bag. I have the feeling that you're going to be a regular at this show, eh? You got so many good things to talk about, eh?
It's just a tip, man. If
It's
you
just a
got
tip.
a few hours, we can hang out. We'll order some crafts and we'll get this done.
Yeah, eh? Okay, so we're looking forward towards the documentary, towards the book. Please keep us posted, okay?
Oh, I will. And if you want to look for me, type up the punching bag. You'll find me everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all social media. Probably a newspaper clipping from time to time too, but that's another story.
And we're going to also follow Chica, right?
That's it. Chica, the mini bulldog. She's amazing, but she snorts and drools like the big 130 pounds. She's just 30 pounds.
Good. Well, thank you very much for coming here. Your story is inspirational, and I really hope people get inspired by your story, okay?
If I could say something to kids out there, this life moves fast. Sometimes you get left behind, but realize you're the one that makes your future. You're the one that stops your future. You can hear people tell you that, no, you can't do this, but when it comes down to it, you're the only one that can tell you that you're not going to do this. And if you tell yourself that you're not going to do this, when the time comes, you're going to hold so many regrets and the purpose of life you didn't get to truly live. Man up, be the person you're supposed to be, and don't listen to anybody, and fight for what's yours.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Paul the punching bag. So happy to see you right here in the show. This was Joshua Alvarez, and this is Canada Pitch. So thank you very much for watching. See you the next time.
You know what? It's just, it's kind of the name, a cowboy. Like, that's kind of our. There's no other athletes like us. Like I was saying earlier, all these people were golfers on, making millions playing golf. You know what I mean? Like, come take a walk and put these boots on for a second. Like, there ain't no cowboy. There's not. We're a different breed, that's for sure. When I was old enough to know what bull riding was, I knew what I wanted to do. Everybody always I remember in school, my teacher's like, what are you gonna do? These kids are, I'll be a doctor or a teacher. And I said, bull ride, it's like, yeah, they smile at you and pat you on the back, and that's exactly what I want to do, and I stuck with it. Yeah, part of being a bull rider. For me, you just gotta live in the moment. For me in the past, and I kind of took all this for granted. I never really lived in this moment, and I had it all taken from me. And I thought I'd never, people were telling me, I went to a neurologist for my head and was told not to ride anymore. And family was, and my friends, I had friends tell me not to ride. And I'm like, dang, I wish I would have just really enjoyed what I had and lived in that very moment. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm just taking it one ride at a time, basically. I wasn't too worried about last week. I'm going to ride, either way.
He's taking a fight in the grave.